All right, after a long-awaited winter nap, we have the Bungie development update as of January 11th, 2018. We start off with a little message here from Christopher Barrett. Hey everyone, at the end of last year, I made a promise I would update you on our plans for Destiny 2. The team has been hard at work and we're all ready to share where we are headed. We used to wait to talk about game updates until we were certain we could meet our deadlines to avoid letting players down if we changed our plans. No longer! We're not just listening, we are doing. Please keep that in mind further out as we make promises, the more they are subject to change. With that caveat, here are our plans. So I like this little statement here just as a side note because, Bungie just historically, they've never spoken until they have something concrete that they can show. And I think that's basically the root cause of a lot of the issues with just kind of Bungie and how they talk to the community, because they're always talking and it's never really a conversation if they are allowed to, speak about plans as they change maybe. I think that can keep us from getting in situations like the one that we're currently in, where we have to wait like 2 months to really hear, or at least about a month to hear anything of substantial value. So, with that out of the way, here we go. Destiny content categories. They wanted to set clear expectations for which is the categories of content that are available to each and everyone every season, and which are exclusive to Destiny 2 expansions. Expansions, they categorize them as purchasable updates that typically add new story, destinations, and gear, as well as new Crucible, Strike, and Raid Layer content. Seasons introduce content that is made available to all players of Destiny 2 at no additional cost. So, one thing that isn't shown in this diagram here, I believe, is like light level. So I'm taking it that light level or power level in Destiny 2 will only be raised with expansions and not seasons. I say that because if you're someone that's going to still do like faction rallies, Iron Banner, in-game playlists and stuff, are you going to be able to raise your light level? My guess is no, most likely not. Iron Banner faction rallies and the rewards will be available to everyone as part of Season 2. Additionally, going forward, we are making a change that new seasonal rewards from Crucible, Strikes, Trials of the Nine will be available to all players. Good. Faction rallies return on January 16th, and Iron Banner will be back in rotation on January 30th. So it's been a long time since we've had Iron Banner at this point. Definitely happy to get it back. And also, we have faction rallies coming. Let's see, it's the 11th. When's the 16th? It's the 16th. Hey, look, next week is the faction rally, and everyone will be able to participate in that this time. So I'm really glad they delayed that, so everyone can actually do that. Eververse, God, I love this. I love this part here. We recognize that the scales are tipped too far towards TES at the moment, and Eververse was never intended to be a substitute for in-game content and rewards, so we'll be making 3 changes for upcoming seasons. We're shifting the balance of new content in favor of activity rewards over bright engrams. This includes adding ghosts, sparrows, and ships, to date found only in bright engrams, to achievement reward pools. Fucking thank you. We'll provide a gameplay path to earn bright engrams and all contained rewards, including event engrams. Would I take that like gameplay path to earn bright engrams and all contained rewards? I believe that's going to be like when you complete. Oh yeah, they talked about it. I forgot to talk about it right here. When you complete some of the stuff, you'll get engrams. Just guaranteed, instead of having to just grind for them every week. And then we'll give players more direct purchase options to make adjustments to bright engrams to allow players to get items they want more often. I'm actually really interested in that. We'll give players more direct purchase options and make adjustments to bright engrams to allow players... Okay, direct purchase options, I take that as meaning if you want an item, you will be able to buy it, which, in my opinion, I'm completely fine with. I know a lot of people will disagree with me there, but since they are also going to be putting Ghost, Sparrow, ships, stuff like that, things that were previously in Destiny 1 in the loot pool, they're putting that back in the loot pool now. Thank you. And then they're going to give us more direct purchase options. I'm hoping that means that if you want an emote, you can buy the emote. You don't have to grind engrams. And then they'll be making adjustments to bright engrams to allow players to get the items they want more often. A little bit later on, right here. Each Crimson engrams... Oh, wait. Okay, whatever. We'll keep going through this. I've read this thing a couple times now. It's all mushing up in my head. We've begun implementing these changes for the Crimson Day event beginning February 13th, which is a month away from now. This is the Crimson Doubles type thing, or Crimson Days, I guess. We don't know if it's Crimson Doubles. If you complete the Nightfall, Raid, and Crimson Day milestones during the Crimson Days, you will be rewarded with an exclusive legendary emote, weapon skin, and exotic sparrow, respectively. Good. It's not just going to be an engram where you could get shaders and like a ship that you don't really care about. Definitely like that over the Dawning option, which was just not good. Players will earn double engrams at level up, 1 Crimson engram and 1 Illuminated engram for the duration of the event. Cool. So if you don't want to pay for stuff, you will still be able to earn Crimson engrams. Also, that's a good option. Crimson engrams can also drop from completing the Crimson Days match and from completing Crimson Days milestones on each character. So they're not going to kind of screw you out of getting loot like they did with the Dawning, where you go to your other characters, try to do the milestones, and you get some shaders. Literally just a package of shaders, and you're like, okay, why am I doing this then? And then each Crimson engram is very strongly weighted to new rewards where they decrypted until all new event items have been obtained. Also very good because it's reducing the RNG of the event. It's reducing the RNG of the bright engrams. And it looks like with all the other changes that they're adding in there, you're going to be getting a lot of stuff just by playing the game, which is good. And if you are wanting to not pay anything, you can still get a lot of it, and probably a great portion of it. Hopefully, if they add more direct purchase options, then if you don't get something, you can just use like Bright Dust, or maybe just buy the one thing that you want instead of continually rolling the dice. I still hate bright engrams and like just the random nature of all of this, because I feel like people would be way more willing to just buy the things that they wanted, and I don't know. They have people that study this crap and have probably ruled that, hey, we're going to get a whole lot more money to fund the studio and whatnot if we just do it this way. And it feels really scummy because it's just morally wrong, in my opinion. Anyway, XP rates. We are still investigating changes to XP earn rates. Our goal with any updates to XP are transparency and consistent XP gain, regardless of your preferred activity. Right now, it's too slow in general and lopsided towards grinding specific activities, which is not a fun grind. Oh, no, it is not. And we want to fix that without making those activities low value to players who aren't grinding them. Fairness is cool. Our first attempt turned out to be unworkably buggy, so we're having to investigate other angles. We'll continue to update you as we move forward. If you don't know what all this is talking about, there was the whole XP fiasco where it turned out that the more XP you earned, turns out the less XP you earned because it was being throttled. And the new system is just you have to earn way too much, and it's impossible to adequately earn XP to get bright engrams and stuff, and just XP in general. Hopefully all these other changes that are coming to Eververse will make the XP rate earning not as, because what do you need XP for? It's literally just bright engrams. So yeah, if all these other changes come to the Eververse, then hopefully these changes won't be not as necessary, but it's not going to be as crucial as it is now, if that makes any sense. Feature roadmap. There are 3 releases that we want to put on your radar right now. Later releases will get more specific dates as they get closer. So they're actually talking about stuff that's coming in the future. And so we have a roadmap of sorts to follow now. I like this. The following content and features will be available to all Destiny 2 players regardless of expansion ownership. So the following, basically everything from here on in. January 30th, at the end of the month, there will be an update for Masterwork Armor. We are expecting the Masterwork systems to include armor, or we are expanding it. Masterwork Armor provides increased damage reduction while using your super. That's not a very exciting ability, just tossing that out there. I feel like it does help, that would help in PvP, because, man, let me tell you, just any roaming super feels pretty bad, man, to just use an Arc Strider and get killed by someone using a energy weapon. Same thing with everything. So is as good as this is in some situations, that's also just not a very exciting thing. Making orbs of light, that's exciting because it gets you your super. You get to use your super more. But Masterwork Armor just providing damage increase. Well, let me put it this way: Skull of Dire Kara You don't exactly see the effect get used that often. So, hey, I don't know. It's something. It's something. It can always be expanded later. So you can reroll the armor stat type on your Masterwork armor, and similar to Masterwork weapons, you can upgrade a piece of armor to Masterwork by spending Masterwork cores and legendary shards. So you can reroll the armor stat type. I don't see anywhere where this actually shows what stat type you're going to be able to reroll. I'm hoping that it's like mobility and resilience and recovery, those stats. Yeah, because I would love to actually have a little more customization options in that aspect of the game. Raid reward. I really hope one thing that they do to Masterwork by spending Masterwork cores and legendary shards. I hope Masterwork cores are going to be getting them is going to be changed just a little bit. I want it to be more consistent, because right now you can like dismantle a Masterwork weapon and you'll get 1 shard, or you'll get 3 shards. So the path to upgrading some of these things feels a little bit random. I would like to be able to just go, okay, I need to get 2 more Masterworks, because that will give me the amount of shards that I need. If that's making sense to you guys. Not reduce the grind, just make it more consistent, so we can set our expectations properly when we're planning out our time for playing the game. Raid reward rework is another section that I'm really happy about. We are updating raid rewards to make them more unique and interesting. They will now feature mods with raid-specific perks, and we are adjusting the rewards to ensure a raid item drops from each major encounter. The raid vendor will also directly sell Leviathan and Eater of Worlds armor and weapons for purchase with raid tokens and legendary shards. Thank you. I like that system a lot. The whole purchasing stuff, it's going to be a little bit, it sucks because you don't have that kind of the memory of getting the piece of loot, because, you know, everyone remembers what they got from that chest in Vault of Glass, or everyone remembers opening up something or killing a boss, getting that loot in Destiny 1. And as much as I like the consistency of being able to buy weapons and armor and stuff from a vendor for raid tokens, that's great. If you don't necessarily get that many clears under your belt, you can eventually work your way up to something to get a piece of loot. Still, it's such a more visceral memory when you get it to drop. But, you know, that's for me, I guess, not for that. That part of the change isn't targeted at a player like me. That's targeted towards someone who doesn't get to put as much time into the game as me. We're also adding a new ghost with raid-specific perks that has a chance to drop from Leviathan and Eater of Worlds final encounters. We intend to return to creating more raid and other activity unique rewards in the future. Thank you, Bungie. Thank you. I'm glad they said that, because right now there's basically nothing. I don't know if you saw me get Midnight Coup, but man, that's like the only unique reward that I've gotten in Destiny 2 thus far, and man, it was exciting to finally get that damn thing. February update. So we don't know when in February this is coming, but it's in February, so yeah. Strike scoring plus high score tracking. That word right here, tracking, is very interesting to me, because I never thought they'd actually include this in the game. Strike scoring is coming to Nightfall and replacing the current time limit mechanic. I don't like that, but I totally understand that so many more people wanted that time limit mechanic removed. Okay, that's whatever. The scoring is similar to Destiny 1 system, but with adjustments to emphasize competitive execution of strike objectives and support for players' selectable score modifiers. Okay, and support for player selectable score modifiers. Interesting. Huh. Player selectable score modifiers. I didn't read that the first time in there. So we'll be able to select what modifiers will be here, and that could change how the strike gets scored. Color me actually interest. In February, Nightfall high scores will be exposed in-game via new emblems and will unlock rewards. Cool. Score higher, get more rewards. I like it. And then we also have plans for clan and community high scores in the works. Great. I like all of that. I like all of that. We've been asking for like tracking, just stuff to show it, and I'm glad they're finally going towards that way. And in February is actually a lot sooner than I thought we'd ever see that. Mods 2.0. Work is underway on a full rework of armor and weapon mods. This will focus on reducing redundant mods, more unique theming, and greatly increasing their impact on your power. Oh, that's a fun sentence to read in Destiny 2, because current power level is low, so if they can increase that, or give us ways to increase that. Yes, please. We are aiming for a February release, but the scope of the rework could push parts or all of it out to early spring. We will be evaluating how mods play into the Bright Engram economy as a result because we're sensitive to pay-to-win outcomes. I have a very simple solution to this. I'm not a developer by any means. I don't know how easy it is to do this, but just fucking remove the mods from the Bright Engram economy. Boom! Problem solved. There. Anyway. As far as the rest of this, I want the mods. I think everyone wants the mod system to be way more meaningful. And if it has to wait till early spring, I'm kind of fine with that. I don't want them to introduce a mod system that's just another, just really dull affair. If they can actually introduce mods that greatly increase the impact on the power and stuff, then excellent. Fantastic. Quick play improvements. We are adjusting game mode rules to increase the pace of gameplay and power ammo acquisitions in quick play. Thank you. I think that's something that Mayhem definitely showed over the dawning is people want the game to be faster. People like using power weapons. People like using their supers. People are tired of this game treating itself like it's an ultra competitive game when it's not. I know that's a kind of a bad statement to hear if you're an ultra competitive player, but this game isn't competitive right now. It's a very casual experience, and a casual experience that is in this type of team shooting doesn't focus on the solo player type deal. That's why Mayhem was so enjoyable. You could go in alone and just have fun. And so hopefully adjust game mode rules to increase the pace of gameplay and power ammo acquisition in quick play. Hopefully that can steer the gameplay more towards that type of player. PC, and trust me, if you're a competitive player, there's something a little bit later on here anyway that you'll like. So that's something for everyone. PC tower chat. We are adding text chat to the tower for PC version of the game. Yay! Spamming memes and hopefully finding people in the tower to go run raids with. Thank you. We've been asking for that for a very long time. Exotic repetition reduction. This will prevent players from receiving the same exotic twice in a row. You may still receive duplicates, just not consecutively. Oh, don't worry. I'll consecutively receive the same two things. So I get Shinobu's Vow and then I don't know, Stompies. I just get those just back to back. Just keep flip flopping. I don't know. I'm glad something's there because I'm currently at like 6 Shinobu's Vow in a row right now for getting exotics. Not that it matters because I have everything, but still it's kind of funny to kind of monitor that stuff. Fire team members on destination map. You will finally be able to see other members of your fire team on the destination map. No more having to ask your fire team where they went when they fast travel to another landing zone. Yay, thank you. I think we're all very, very happy with that. Even though it did actually get us to talk to each other sometimes when we were grinding, public events or something like that. Spring 2018, we're taking the time we need in development of Expansion 2 that will allow us to react to player feedback from Curse of Osiris. In the coming months, we'll talk to you more about what you can expect to find in Destiny 2's next story. The team's eager to show you what they've been working on. Independent of Expansion 2, the team will deliver a number of new features that will be released before or during Season 3. Every player of Destiny 2 will receive new content in the following categories. So, even though they were just talking about Expansion 2, the following stuff that they're talking about, you won't need to buy Expansion 2 to actually play this stuff. Crucible. We want to give players new reasons to play, more variety and balance improvements. Spring will bring a number of exciting and long-awaited features to the Crucible. Crucible Rank. Beginning with Season 3, we will introduce seasonal Crucible ranks. There will be 2 different ranks for players to pursue. Valor, a progression rank that goes up as you complete matches. Winning helps you move up faster, but there's no loss penalties. So, it's basically, here's how many matches I've played. That's what Valor is. It's not a very competitive thing, but, if you just like seeing a number go up, great, you can do that, and you're not pressured too heavily into, constantly winning. However, if that's the type of player that you are, and I'm going to suggest that most everyone is, because everyone likes winning, and likes showing that they've won a lot, Glory, a progression rank that goes up when you win, and down when you lose. Performance is how you move up here. Great! I'm honestly shocked that this ever would make it into the game, because it feels like Trials of Osiris getting to the lighthouse and whatnot is the only thing that has ever done that. So Something that shows that, hey, I'm really good in PvP and I've won a lot more than you. Fear me. I don't know. I'm glad they're putting this in. So you have two options for it, and cool. People can grind that up. Also, private matches, that thing for competitive players. So we can all, have private matches now. Great. Private matches are coming to all players of Destiny 2. Players will be able to invite their friends to play on the map and mode of their choosing. I imagine you won't be able to pick like DLC maps if someone hasn't purchased the expansion or DLC or whatever. So, hey, there we go. I'm really happy private matches are coming. I think, hindsight's 2020, but I have to say it right now. Not launching Destiny 2 with private matches was a massive mistake, because right now the competitive community exists of... This is an intended silence, by the way. Anyway, 6v6 playlist. We're bringing 6v6 PvP to Destiny 2 in addition to the current 4v4 game modes. Holy shit, I honestly did not expect that. I'm pretty sure on the podcast I answered that question a while back. It's like, no, there's absolutely no way we're ever going to see 6v6 in Destiny 2. There's just no way. Basically, all the maps are balanced around 4v4. The entire, everything's balanced around that. So, hey, if anything, this shows that, hey, Bungie's actually listening, because one of the most common things that I have seen is we want 6v6 back. So, hey, okay, there it is. Great. I can't wait to see how that actually performs in D2. Mayhem event. Mayhem will return as a limited time event during Season 3 and going forward. Great. Part of the reason Mayhem to me is so special is because it's not there all the time. So it makes me want to go play it even more during the time that it is there. If it was just a selectable thing, I don't think I would go do it as often, because it's always there. When you got it, you don't really care, but when it's available to you, not always, you can go get it. Don't read into that too much. Additional fixes. We are making some changes to make quitting less common, and behind-the-scenes security improvements to help improve the overall Crucible experience. Behind-the-scenes security improvements, I hope that means some sort of like DDoS protection or ways to mask people's IPs. Something along those lines would be great, just so we don't have to continually see, hey, the top players in trials are actually DDoSers. You have to see that reoccurring thing every 2 months on Reddit. But changes to making quitting less common. Cool. Hopefully there's like punishments for quitting. Hopefully there's, just more incentives to stay, even though I think Crucible is currently unbelievably rewarding. So, unless you make it, hey, you get, I don't know, legendaries, and I don't know how much loot it would take to make people literally never quit a Crucible match, to the point that people would just be like, always sitting in it, just AFKing. Which is another problem, but I have no idea how many rewards they would have to add to Crucible to make quitting less common. So hopefully there are some punishments being introduced, because I think that's a little bit, when there are currently no punishments, we could probably have some, especially in the competitive playlist. Also, make quitting less common. I know this is in regards to PvP, but I'm really hoping that we see strikes reworked in some way, specifically the Exodus Crash strike, because I hate to admit this, but I quit the Exodus Crash strike every single time. Oh, look, Skype's, yeah, we got, why are all these things popping up? Go away. Okay, fine. I don't know how long that bar's been down there. Sorry about that. The strikes... that one specific strike, I will quit it every single time it pops up, because it is not fun, and the end boss is just a complete non-interactive snooze fest. You sit there, you deal damage, and he disappears. There's no way to stun him. There's no way to actually interact with him, aside from wait for him to come out so you can like fire a rocket at him and have him disappear again. You run out of primary ammo, or kinetic ammo, killing all the ads. You run out of everything because it's just a long, boring, uninteractive fight. I repeated myself a bunch there, but if we can make some changes to quitting less common in strikes as well, namely by reworking the strikes, that would be fantastic. Even though that was all about PvP. Additional highlights: weapon and ability balance pass, sandbox adjustments based on player feedback and data from the live game. The sandbox team will share specific changes as we lead up to Season 3. So it sucks that we're going to have to be sitting through another season with basically no changes right now. And I hate sounding really pessimistic, but the changes that we got in Season 2 were not substantial. While some of it did address player feedback, it was just this really... I'm trying to find the right word here. It was safe. That's probably the best one. It was a safe... They made only safe changes. I think that's mostly due to the timing of Season 2, because it was right before the holidays. They didn't want to have to, have a bunch of stuff broken, even though a bunch of stuff was broken. I'm hoping that we get to see just not safe changes. We need to see large, sweeping changes, and I got documents written up that could easily say, hey, here's everything that needs to be changed. Let's focus on this. As evidenced by basically every single exotic review that I've done. Speaking of exotics, exotic weapon and armor balance pass. Exotic weapons and armor are receiving a comprehensive design pass to ensure they stand out from the rest of the gear and offer new, exciting, powerful ways to play. I'm taking that as Mechaneer's trick sleeves won't just, reload sidearms quicker and whatnot, because it's exciting. So this is very much needed right now. There's so many exotics that are just bland, milquetoast, boring, not exotic. So please make exotics exciting again. Thank you. Seasonal reputation. Specific vendors will now display a seasonal ranking. Earning reputation will unlock seasonal rewards and will reset each season. Okay, cool. I have no complaints. I think the vendor changes that came with Season 2 were all fantastic. Improved Iron Banner and Faction Rallies. In addition to the changes that you will see in Iron Banner and Faction Rallies return this month, we will continue iterating on these to make them unique and exciting experiences you all look forward to. I hope we see changes to like every Iron Banner and every Faction Rally, mainly because you look forward to it. If every single Iron Banner and Faction Rally is just, hey, here's an event with the same loot again, and so if you got what you wanted last time, you have no reason to play this. I would like for them to definitely keep changing it up, add new stuff for us to do there. I know that's a lot to ask, but I think for the sake of the event actually feeling fun and bringing players back, you kind of need to do that. Playlist repetition reduction. This feature solves the problem of experiencing the same playlist entry multiple times in consecutive or frequent succession for both Crucible and Strikes. For Crucible, I hope this means I don't have to play Supremacy 20 times in a row. Usually on the same map. Strikes, well, there's not a lot you can honestly do about strikes. There's like 6 strikes in the game? So, I think it's 7 with the DLC now. 8 if you have the PlayStation Plus one. So, there's not a hell of a lot you can do about strikes, especially when some of them you just auto-quit out of. But anyway, oh, geez, I almost spilled my coffee there. In-game player pursuits. We agree with your feedbacks on the imbalance between achievements and bright engram rewards. Achievement being, you achieved a task, a quest, an activity, and you aren't justly rewarded for it. And then bright engrams are where all that stuff is now. They'll be making adjustments to shift more rewards into specific in-game pursuits instead of generic XP grinding for bright engrams. We are excited to share the details as soon as we have them worked out. Good. Hopefully this comes with Season 3. And, we get to go into Expansion 2 with a lot of really good, stuff that we can grind for instead of just grinding for these 2 words right here. Multi-emote. When multi-emote launches, you will be able to choose which emote you have equipped to each of your 4 emote slots. Cool. So you have 4 emote slots and you can actually use all of them with like 1 or 2 buttons. Cool. Vault space. We are targeting an additional 50 slots to player vaults. That's good, and I'm really glad about the next statement. We don't believe just adding more vault space is a complete solution and are actively working on other changes to reduce load on your vault space. Good. Namely things like shaders taking up too much space in your vault, mods taking up too much space, kiosks, which they are going to be adding for exotics, so you can have exotic ships, sparrows, and ghosts put in there, so that'll free up a little bit of extra space for some people. I'm hoping they can do that for legendaries as well, because there are some legendary ships and sparrows that I want to keep, but there's just not enough damn room. But yeah, 50 slots is definitely not a solution. It's a band-aid, and they definitely need to address the obvious thing, which is I'm having to store about 50 shaders in my vault and about another 50 mods, so that's taking up the lion's share. Actually, weapons, I'll be real, are taking up the lion's share, but still, I would like to have more space for the cool things that I use and not the decorative ornaments that I put on those things I use. PC Clan Chat. In addition to the Tower Chat that is targeted for February, we are adding Clan Chat to the PC version of the game. Sweet. I don't know how many people in my clan actually play on PC. So, man, that would be sweet to be able to talk to them on console. I doubt I doubt they have the ability to do that, though. Heroic Strike changes. We'll be introducing modifiers to add more gameplay variety to the experience. Good. I think they mentioned up there about the Nightfall, like player choosable or player selectable modifier. So great. Fall 2018 or sooner, we are working on a lot more we're not quite ready to discuss. Expect more on this small sample of items in the future. Item collections and records, so record books, I guess, and also collecting. Yeah, this is the game, item collections. That's basically the end game for Destiny. So I'm glad they're still working on it. Weapon slot and archetype improvements, good. Wait, I'm surprised they on said weapon slot, because to me that says maybe they're looking at, maybe changing the kinetic energy power weapon slot type stuff. I wouldn't hold my breath for that, though, because A, it's coming in fall, and I can't hold my breath that long, and 2, weapon slot is a long, it's kind of a generic comment. I'm very excited about archetype improvements, because right now, so many of the archetypes are just, they don't offer anything. The weapons are too close together, in my opinion, so it's hard to make them actually stand out from each other. Additional Crucible playlists like Rumble. Hey, there we go, Rumble. It took 31 minutes to get here, but Rumble is a thing they are talking about for fall 2018 or sooner. Better clan rewards. Okay, sure. I'd like to see better clan rewards. It's currently pretty rewarding to be in a clan, but more the merrier. Masterwork exotics. Yay, they listen, because I currently have an all-legendary loadout right now for weapons. Pinnacle weapons and gear improvements. Pinnacle weapon as in like the best weapons, best gear, stuff like that, I assume. Trials of the Night improvements, good. Lots of things can be improved there. I don't want to get too much into that in this video. Shaders and dismantling, thank you. Please let me dismantle all the ones I get from the Cryptarch, because I have like 500 of those things. The future of guided games. That's kind of a almost grim statement. It's like, look, here's the future of it. And it's in a very short future. I don't know. I think the community, as just a quick side note, guided games, the community wanted an LFG. And Bungie tried to make an LFG into a clan finder when those two features needed to be separate. I definitely like the idea of guided games, but the current way that the players want to use it does not indicate that the feature should be kind of supporting clans in the way that it is. It should be an LFG feature that you could just queue into stuff, and it would probably be a lot more successful than it currently is if you just remove the clan side of it. As much as that sucks, because we've been asking for clan features and stuff in the game, and we get like almost clan finder in the game, but I mean almost LFG in the game, but neither of them really quite make it. So hopefully, if maybe they could separate the two and make both of them stronger as a result. Addresses to solo versus fireteam matching. Thank you. Being a solo player in PvP is it's rough. It's very rough. And one final note: we expect to hear more from us via Bungie.net, Twitch, and social media. We'll be talking to you more directly and more often, as promised. We want to thank our community for all the passionate and detailed feedback you provide. It's critical to our ability to continually improve Destiny, so thank you. Talk to you soon. Christopher Barrett at CG Barrett on Twitter. I've talked for about 34, almost 35 minutes right now, podcasts. I'm getting a call right now on Skype to go join the podcast group. So, a lot of this is basically all stuff that we've been talking about, all stuff that we've been wanting. It's very hard for me to think of something that hasn't been addressed in some way in this. And I know the unfortunate thing is that all of this isn't coming, next week. That's one of the cruel realities of developing stuff, is that it takes a long time. It just does. It's not being lazy. Shit just takes a long time to develop. And when you have studios working on multiple things, sometimes it takes even longer. So it's unfortunate that the state of the community, the state of the game got to the point that it is. But hey, we have a roadmap now and all that stuff that we're looking forward to. So you have stuff to look forward to in the future. So, if something, just keep an eye on social media channels. When you finally get something that you like, maybe hop back into the game. If not, thanks for playing. Hope you left happy, I guess. Thank you all for watching. I'm going to go do the podcast now. This will probably be uploaded way later than expected. So thank you all for watching. I'll see you next time.